Hey, it's BCS, and today I just have a couple of updates for the two little Commodore 64 tools that I've released so far, Minisprite and SEND64. So first up is Minisprite. It is a small update, but since I versioned the original release as 1.0, I'm just calling this 1.1. It's not really that big. There's just two changes in this, both requested from people who commented on the original release video. First, there's now a border around the bounds of the sprite. This is just there to help make it more clear what the full area you have to draw in is. And second, and probably more importantly, you'll see there's now a load option. Hitting the L key will load the sprite out file that was previously saved. It's not as good as a full file saving and loading system. You can't yet choose file names to save and load to. Honestly, I've just been preoccupied with other things, which I'll mention a bit at the end, but I wanted to get these little improvements out for anyone who might enjoy them, and just because honestly, they make it a better program. And next on to SEND64 and its partner computer program, Receive64. Now, most obvious on the receiving side is there's now a simple curses-based terminal UI. It shows status on the bottom with a list of received files on top. And on the SEND64 side, a couple of small improvements as well. So let's go ahead and upload a few things to the computer, such as let's back up SEND64 itself again. Now it shows the status of what block it's sending on the bottom, the total number of blocks, so you can kind of see how it's progressing. And also it will now prompt you if you want to send another file. So now that I back that up, we'll say yes. It pre-fills the server address I used last time. And let's go ahead and back up the source code as well. And then as you can also see, on the receive side, it shows the file received in the transfer history, goes back to waiting for another connection. And lastly, if a checksum failure was detected during receiving a file, it will be flagged in that transfer history window as well. And that's it. Links to both programs are on my website, as well as the GitHub repo for Receive64. All that's in the description. I wanted to get these out last week, but as always, projects get in the way of other projects. I mentioned before that I've been wanting to work on a markdown editor for the Commodore 64, which in my genius brain decided that that meant I also need to support printing the previews of the formatted document. But I didn't have a printer for my C64, and that led me down the path of picking up an MPS 803 on eBay, and I've been working on fixing that a few 3D printed parts later, and it's almost back to working state. Then the other thing that's been eating at my retro brain lately is I've become somewhat obsessed with the completely weird design of the Atari 7800 and just how its graphics chip works. So I've been working on code for that. So in addition to Commodore 64, 128, probably NES, Game Boy Color, don't be surprised if some 7800 poster videos pop up soon. And that is it. Have a great one.